YouTube? I am Wayne with Wayne's Fish Bowl, and today this video is kicking off an entirely new line of videos, releasing 6 new aquariums to my addiction, I guess you want to call it. No, the reason I'm setting 6 new aquariums up is because I want to branch off to other parts of YouTube that I couldn't really cover with my Dutch / Amazon Fish Inhabited 125 or my 55-gallon saltwater tank. I want to branch off and reach out to other people, and this video series is going to help me do that. And the first thing I'm going to do is basically explain what's going to be going on. First of all, in less than a month, I will be in California. I live in Virginia. I am terrified of heights, and yet I'm taking a plane. I know, stop being well, I'm not going to offend anybody, but you can guess what I was about to say. And just man up and conquer your fear. I have a fear of heights. That's my thing. People don't like snakes, spiders. I don't like heights. Heights and me don't like each other. But anyways, guys, I'll be in California, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be uploading a lot of videos. That way, when I'm in California, and if I get back late, or God forbid, whatever happens, you guys will have a steady stream of videos coming out. Like, you've got next week videos already uploaded, which is going to be a, what is it? Neon Tetra video. And I've got videos on my computer, like setting up a Amazon Biotope, installing the underground filters, how to make the underground filter, setting up a shrimp tank, Iwagumi is the next one I'll be working on. And I was about to set up either the Dutch or the Iwagumi, and I looked at this underground filter and I said, whoa, this is the last one I have before I have to rip out any gravel. I better do a video on underground filters, because I've already made the video on how to make underground filters and how to install underground filters. So I'm actually doing the video on underground filters last. Let's stop the chit chat and get back to the topic of the video. Underground filters. A lot of people are going to disagree with me on this one and say, Wayne, what are you, from the 1900s? But hear me out. Underground filters are one of the best, if not the best, biological filter. Yes, you can go out and buy fluidized media, which is by far top of the line, ahead of its class filtration for biological filtration in modern day. But underground filter worked in the past, and it still works. It was it was one of the main building blocks and the foundation for aquarium filtration. You had your corner filters and your sponge filters back then, and you had your box filters. But underground filters is what really launched it off. You could go from keeping 2 fish in a tank from multiple fish. So what's so great about underground filter? What's the bad things about underground filter? Underground filters, you're limited. With plants, it might not be that of a good idea because the roots would get tangled. Over time, you're going to have a sludge underneath the plate. And it's just kind of out of date. It's not hyped. And the ugly standpipes kind of distract from the aquarium. It's more for the newbie and more of the past. Actually, they don't even make aquariums, to my knowledge, anymore with the underground filter, unless you get like a little 1-gallon triangle tank from Walmart or something like that. Other than that, you're not going to find an underground filter in most cases in a modern day aquarium. But I think that's a big mistake, because my big belief is, because I'm old school, not old school as some of you guys watching, but I'm old school in believing your gravel should be your main source of your beneficial bacteria. My koi cats, I think they're spawning. If they have babies, they have babies. But your substrate bed is going to be your main focus of your beneficial bacteria. Your beneficial bacteria is going to colonize on your walls, your tanks, your decorations, your rocks, your caves, even your plants. They're going to grow on your intakes of your filter. You get what I'm saying? It's going to grow on everything. But just like in saltwater, you want to leave your live rock open, and you want to get the most porous live rock you can, because you want to utilize that water flow and pass it through all that live rock to filter your water biologically. And yes, your sand is a big part of that too. But a lot of people go just bare bottom because of the simple fact that sand will harbor nitrates or an ending factor of waste. Why don't we use that concept in saltwater and bring it back to freshwater. That's where it originated. What an underground filter does is it's usually a plate, and what I have here is I have made several of these DIY CPVC, or you can make it out of PVC. Your imagination is your limit. I wanted to do something that was low cost, energy efficient, for multiple tanks. I didn't want to have to go and buy multiple filters that cost $20, $30, $40, $50 and have 6 tanks. I said I'm not spending that kind of money. Not including paint, this filter cost me just under $6, about $5.95, all depending on where you get it, Lowe's, Home Depot, local hardware store. Let's say it's going to be under, in most cases, $7. $7 for a filter. Now obviously you couldn't jam pack it with fish, unless you do it right. When you look at most fish stores out there, like your local fish stores, most, keep in mind that I'm saying most, at least where I come from, where it's not heavily populated, when you get to a city, you're going to see more pet stores that have, you know, up-to-date technology. They have more advanced filtration. Because the simple fact is, they've got so much customer traffic, they can profit enough to pay the electric bill, to pay for all those electronics, either be your filters, heaters, etc. But for the medium-sized stores and the smaller-sized stores, you usually see underground filters, and there's nothing wrong with that. They worked in the past, and they worked in the future. I mean, they work now, and they're going to work in the future. There's nothing wrong with it. How this works. There's a couple different underground filters, and I'm going to cover the first one, the original, and then I'm going to cover the second one, the reverse flow. Underground filters are either powered by an air stone or a power head. You have an inlet tube, and this is kind of modified. That way all my bubbles aren't escaping up. They're going down, then up. That's a different story. But bottom line, you have something like this. A air tube is going to go down this shaft or standpipe, and it's going to be at the very bottom, and it's going to pump air out. Air flows. Okay? There's holes or slits in your plate or in the pipe. And what that's doing is this water's pushing up. It has to pull water in, and it cannot pull water in from here because that's where the air is coming out, water's coming out. So it's going to have to pull water from the holes or the slots in your plate. And what that forces is all that water to slowly, keep in mind I said slowly, it's not going to be as effective as the mechanical filtration like I hang on the back. But it's going to slowly push all that water into this plate. And what that does, it heavily oxygenates your sand or your gravel, whatever your substrate may be, and it utilizes all of that gravel or sand or whatever you have down there, just like the live rock in salt water. It makes all that water pass through it. And of course you're going to have dead spots. That's natural. Nothing's perfect. But it's going to force all that water through all your substrate and then force it out of the standpipe. And if you really wanted to, you could put some kind of adapter on here, like a street, connect this to some tubing, and in the end, you could put a power head in here. And what the power head does, it's got more flow. But keep in mind, if you're doing multiple tanks, it also means more money because of electricity. Generally, on the power of the power head, it can usually range from anywhere from 3 watts on up, usually around 15, the high power ones. And I've seen some power heads generate around 65 watts of electricity. I know that's a lot. So economy is something you definitely want to look at, meaning money. The other way is reverse flow. Reverse flow, it takes in water from the tank, and the outlet of the power head is attached to the standpipe. And what that does is you have the inlet of the power head, meaning water getting sucked in. You usually have a sponge on it or some kind of mechanical filtration. That way you don't blow debris and waste into your gravel, which is going to happen anyways. But I guess some people like it just as a simple factor that it adds a little bit of mechanical filtration. Well, it takes that water and it shoots it down the standpipe. And then that water is forced to almost jet-like go through all these holes. Now, what I found also in underground filters, you're going to have more biological filtration near the standpipe. So in my theory, if you drill less holes, if you drill less holes around the standpipe and more holes the farther you get away, it'll equalize and balance off that ratio of water distribution. So guys, underground filters, are they for you? I don't know. You're going to have to make that call. But they're a great economical way of choosing filtration. It worked in the past. It's working today. It's also great for stuff like creatures that are sensitive to either high water flows, such as seahorses, It's good for stuff that like fry, that doesn't like a whole lot of water movement. If you use sand, I know a lot of people like to bare bottom with their tanks when they're doing fry, but an underground filter can be any application, either from salt water, fresh water. The imagination's the limit. Guys, next week we're going to move into how to build an underground filter. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do the reverse flow. I might do it in the future, but as of right now, I'm not going to be doing that. Guys, I hope you like this video. Stay tuned to next week. I've got many videos coming out for you guys. Either it be Amazonian, my 125, my 55-gallon saltwater tank, my 1,500-gallon pond, shrimp tanks. The list goes on and on and on. Comment, rate, subscribe, hit that like button below, share the video, guys. I'll see you guys next time. This is Wayne with Wayne's Fish World. Later.